All right. You'll random alarms or stuff. All right, you guys, we are going to go ahead and dive in and get started. I gotta turn this so that I can. I wonder if I can find here. Like it's a person. There we go. No, you're fine. It's recording. You're good.
That was my debut, you know.
Yeah. All right. So you tonight, I'm gonna start off with a little bit of not really formal recognition, but I want to share some good news things. So what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? As we're well into September now, we're about halfway point of September, but what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to in September? What are you celebrating? I feel like even though it was like a month and a half ago that we were at seminar, I kind of still feel like we just got back from seminar. Because seminar was so late this year, I feel like what are you excited about in your life? That just for sharing because I want tonight. It's going to be a workshop. We're going to be working together through some stuff. I'm really, really good about this format. More of this type of thing. I really want your feedback. Even if you hate it, tell me because I want to know. And so we're going to be doing some drawings for fun and some little prizes, so you'll get tickets for interacting. And while you're thinking about what you're celebrating and excited about, I'm going to do the napkin trick on the door. You can start if somebody has it, then you can pop out with something. The napkin. Holiday open house invitation. Awesome. Okay. That's really smart. You're thinking holiday already, you guys. But will be available in early October. If you're in my unit, you can earn it this month. You saw that, but you guys know that too. But just know that start thinking holiday, and if you've got satin hand sets, clear them off because the new satin hands is coming. So it'd be great. This would be a great time to offer a special on those, a pre-Christmas shopping special, and move them so that you're not having them sit on your shelf because you're going to want the new, fresh stuff. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you for bringing a ticket. Who else? What are you excited about? Yeah, beautiful gesture. That's exciting too. Yeah. Excited about the Christmas stuff and the creativity part, putting the baskets together and making stuff cute. Probably not my area of this. It annoys me. But yeah, you. Like I love wrapping stuff. Like I love making stuff look beautiful wrapping. But like one year I made all these hand cream angels and I was ready to like stab myself in the eye. It was not a gift to me. What else are you excited about? Awesome. One, yeah, it's been so fun. I have a sorority. Yes. Sorority alumni. And another one for customers who are all +5. Yeah. Very cool. Boogies are exciting. Love it. Love it. You've been working the 21-day boogie, haven't you? Because I think you're talking about it, aren't you? Yeah, love it. Like it. It's the book system. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for Weekend of Champions.
Yes! I'm excited for Weekend of Champions too.
It's a fun event.
It is a fun event. It's my favorite event of the whole year.
It's not like huge, but yet it's nice.
It's so good. And it's almost sold out, you guys. Like as of this morning, there were 17 seats. So if you've got team members or if you're not registered, make sure you get that done because I'm like, I keep telling people in my unit, I'm like, don't wait, you're gonna run out of room. So, and if you need hotel rooms, holler to your director or reach out to me, because I know I've got a couple gals that still have some spaces, and so we can help you get that all figured out. Okay, perfect.
I just woke up this morning excited.
There you go. Right.
Well, I just got almost like
The new season, the weather kind of changes.
I've been kind of polishing up on, like the glasses and all that, but then trying to polish up a little bit better. Feeling better about it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I'm excited.
I always get excited about new too, like new season, new information, new approach to something. I agree, that is exciting. Awesome.
I'm kind of excited about the bracelet
Yes,
this month, and those things are so pretty.
yes, they are. And this month is like a gunmetal gray. It's not the shiny, shiny silver like the July one. More of a darker, from what I can tell from the picture. It hasn't come yet, but from the picture it looks darker. And it says "Let it be me" on it, and it's got the diamond accent. Very pretty. And did you know? I think this is so cool. All of them have Mary Kay's signature on the inside of them. I know you're all checking now. You're like,
I wish they didn't turn.
Oh, they do.
Isn't that cool? I just love that. I just love the details and the little. So special. So special. So let's do some bracelet recognition. So if you have earned a bracelet this year since July, wave your hand that you've earned a bracelet. Yay! If you've earned one both months, you're on target for every month this year. Anybody? Jody has, yes. We have several gals in our unit actually who have. I'm really excited about that. That's very fun. And several who were new in August who earned theirs in August, and so then they're on target to earn it every month that they're eligible. So that's very exciting. Okay, cool. So I want to dive in tonight, and I want to tell you, because you guys know that this is how my brain works, that I like to give context for you to understand. Let me back up even a step back. I think one of the things that is most significant about leadership, not just in Mary Kay, but just leadership in all avenues of our life, one of the things that sets leaders apart from everyone else in the world is how they think. And so one of the things I always try to do for you guys is give you some insight into why I'm doing things the way that I am, why I'm taking things in the direction that I am, because I want you to be able to, like, if you opened up my brain, that you could kind of see how I'm thinking. And leadership thought process and thinking like a leader is something that I won't pretend that I have the corner on that and that I like the ultimate leadership thought process person, because I'm not. I'm always learning, I'm always growing in that area. But I think sometimes for me too, it's helpful to walk through my thought process. It helps me to learn from my own thought process. Does that make sense to any of you that are a little bit more analytical? Maybe some of you are like, that was in my head, I don't know. That's okay, just tone it down. But I thought about just Mary Kay's theme this year is embrace your dreams. I have always loved this company. From 11 years ago when I started, I've always loved this company. I've always loved the personal growth aspect. So many of the life skills that I use in my life, not just in my Mary Kay business, although that is a huge part of my life now in the role that I'm in. It is, but I think back to when I was still teaching, I think of how many things that I learned through the Mary Kay world and in the Mary Kay realm that carry over to my teaching career. And now I'm seeing how those carry over into my marriage and into my parenting and into my role in the community and all of those things. Just things like the valuing of people and the focus on the positive things and the growth and all of that, and how we can spread that to everyone in our world, not just in our Mary Kay life. Hello. Yeah. How are you? Great. And so my thought process behind it here, before we went to seminar, I was thinking, I really want to make, so what I'm providing in terms of education and training and personal growth opportunities for consultants and for guests and for all the women that God places in front of me, however, whatever format that comes in. And so at seminar, it was very clear to me. I kind of felt like I got the green light from God to go ahead and make some changes. Because you guys know that I've done things very much the same format, same process, same setup of stuff for a long time, where we do some consultant recognition and training, and we do a guest event, and it's been kind of, that was good. And I was comfortable with that. I felt like it was effective. I felt like it worked. I loved doing it. But for something new, like what Jody said, because I really lost my excitement and my passion for it because it was the same. And every week I was doing the same thing. It might be in a different location, but it was the same thing. And I really had lost my excitement for it. And so I really went back and I thought, what is it that I really do love? Like, what is it that brings me energy? What is it that fuels me? What is it that excites me? What is it that I love to teach on? What is it that I love to share? And I realized I love working with groups of people, and I love teaching. I love interaction. I love feedback. But I don't necessarily love teaching the same thing, booking, coaching, selling, closing, the hard skills of our business, teaching those every week to the same people who already know it. You know, because you guys all know what to do with the business. You all know how to do a facial. You all know how to close an appointment. You all know how to book a party. You all know all of that. Whether you're doing it or not, that might be a different question. When you can find the resources, if, like Jody said, if you need to sharpen things, you can find the resources to do that. And so I thought, what can I do that's going to make you better in your life? And what can I do that's going to help those people in my life who are my customers or my friends who are also hungry for that personal growth piece and are hungry to become better first. And they're not in Mary Kay, so they don't care how to book a party. They don't care how to close an appointment, all those things, but they're hungry for the personal growth aspect. And we get so much of that in Mary Kay, but it doesn't always come on a local level. It comes more at the bigger events. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of all back in my head as I was coming forward with things. And then about 3 weeks ago, 2 of my great girlfriends from high school and I had made the decision way back, like in March or something, that we were going to go to the Belong Tour in Lincoln when they came, because we're like obsessed with Jen Hatmaker because she's hilarious and she's really, I mean, she's a great Christian woman speaker, has great stuff too, but she's really funny too, which is like added bonus because I like humor. And Shauna Nyquist, who is Bill Hybels' daughter. So a lot of you have heard me talk about Bill Hybels, Willow Creek Church in Chicago, and Courageous Leadership is his book that's like Leadership Bible. If you haven't read it, it's a great one to grab. You could read it over and over for a year and still pull nuggets out of it. I mean, it's super, super powerful. It's the one book that Amy read the year we became a national area. She read it over and over and over. So anyway, his daughter is part of the Belong Tour. And, we had decided that we were going to go. It's going to be a girls' weekend. We were going to have fun. We were going to do that. And so that was the last weekend in August. And it would have been easy for me not to go. I mean, it would have been easy for me to say, oh, I need to work that weekend because we were gone for a week for a seminar and we were gone for vacation in August. And there were a lot of reasons that I could have said no, but I was like, no, I said we were doing this. I'm committed to this. We're going. A huge part of the message of that weekend was all about finding your purpose. Like, what is your purpose? Why were you created? What is your life for? What's the big picture of your life? And it was just another God wink and another confirmation of the direction that I was wanting to go with things in my leadership and the education and opportunities that I was wanting to provide. Because when you can have an event at the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln where there's 5,000 people, 5,000 women that are hungry, that are craving that, I'm like, this is a message that needs to be spoken. This is something that women want. The confidence event that Amy did here a couple weeks ago, when we have 150 women in a room, not all consultants, not all Mary Kay people, hungry for that. It's a message that needs to be spread. And so I'm excited to bring this to you. And so I've been thinking a lot over purpose and passion and possibilities, which is our theme tonight on our leadership and life lessons topic. And so you have a couple of resources here for you, and we're going to work through some of these. I did share a lot of the questions that are on here came right from the resources that they gave us at the Belong Tour and some of the questions that they asked from the stage and stuff. So I'm pulling a lot from that. And so I did put the address there for the group that they are partnered with that's really focused on helping you identify your purpose. So if you want to go check that out, information there is some great tools and resources. There just was too much to pack it all into, an hour session tonight. So I want you to be able to have that and be able to check that out. And so we're going to start with purpose, because I feel like when we can identify our purpose and what God has called us, how God has wired us, how God has created us to be, that really kind of flavors and colors everything else. So I think that what you will find is once you know your purpose, that your passions and the things that bring you joy and the things that give you energy tie to that in some way. Even if you might not make that connection right now, you might not be able to write that down, but I'm hoping that tonight that you're going to be able to see some of those start moving your life in the direction of that purpose and that calling that is. So the very first thing that I wanted to share with you is, first of all, a quote from Jen Hatmaker. And like I said, she's really funny, but she's also really brilliant. And if you, she has some great books. You can check her out. You can Google her. She's on Amazon. She's on Facebook. You can follow her on Facebook. But she says, you're good at something for a reason. God designed you this way. This is on purpose. It isn't fake or a fluke or small. This is the mind and heart and hands and voice that you've been given. Use it. Makes me think of Amy Kent always shares the quote from John Ortberg when he said, if you are a woman and you have the gift of leadership, say lead. And so you all, every single one of us, God has wired you with strengths and with talents and with things that you love and with things that you are great at, and there's a purpose for that. And that purpose might be directly or it might not, but there's a purpose for the way that you're wired the way that you are. There's going to be ways that God's going to use that in your life. I also shared there the verse from Ephesians 2:10, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. So everything about you, all of those talents, all of those skills, all of those strengths that you have are intentional. God gave them to you on purpose. So there's no throwaway. Okay? Sometimes I think we think that if there's something that we're naturally good at, but we can't really see that it's really always that practical, we're kind of like, well, that's what I can really do. Like, I love making people laugh, but how is that really, like, going to change the world? You know what I mean? But there's no throwaway strength. And every strength that you have, everything that you're good at, God has given you that for a reason. And he has a purpose for that. So the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is purpose. And I believe that each of us is wired by God for a specific purpose. And that those purposes are uniquely linked with our passions, our talents, our strengths, and with the plans that God has for each of our lives. That I want you to do is grab the sheet that has the little tree, this one, purpose statement test. And we're going to just take a few minutes here, and I'm going to let you work through this. So what you do is you just go between, there are 32 of them, you pick which one speaks to your heart. And know those of you that are a high C personality are very analytical and want like a definition for each one, which is totally me. I was like, well, what does that even mean? What does bringing light mean? I need to know what that means. Like, I need to read the description because maybe that is me. Exactly. So there's not a description on it. It's whatever just touches your heart. When you look at that, is it igniting joy or imparting wisdom that you're like, yeah, that kind of jazzes me? And write that out on the line and go through that one, and then you'll go through again and narrow down. So if you put imparting wisdom and nurturing belief, then you're going to choose between those two. You're going to narrow it down so you get to your purpose statement, which is I exist to serve by blank. So take a few minutes here. I'll be quiet. You can think. I'll need some chips.
You're welcome.
Alex, can I get another, please?
You want to go? Yeah. Go. We'll get there ready.
And a glass of water.
You want water too?
Okay, thank you. No problem. Yeah, right?
Small rock.
Perfect. Close. Your heart word.
I know, right? As soon as she said that, I was like, seriously, I remember the first time I filled this out. I was like Googling meeting.
To you. Depends. In your life. Yep. Your purpose is bigger than your business. Your business will tie to your purpose, but ultimate calling on your life is bigger than that. Once you've narrowed it down to your final one, go ahead and transfer that over onto your other handout. Where it says I exist to serve by blank, go ahead and put it in there just so you've got it in front of you as you work through the rest of the stuff. Yes, no, you're still working, that's okay. I'll leave another chip. This is actually on the Victory Area website. Oh, somewhere. I can post it on the, I'll post it on the Facebook group too. How about that? That'd be awesome. It's a useful tool for a lot of things. As we were, after the Friday night portion of the Belong tour got over, and we were back at my friend's house hanging out. So we were talking about purpose and identifying our purpose and all of that. And so I pulled this up and emailed it to them, because we had done this several years ago with Amy and some leadership development stuff. And I thought, oh, that's such a good thing to pull back out and use and look at it. It really helps you know yourself and analyze yourself, which I think is a great thing.
Crazy how different your answer is when you don't allow yourself to overanalyze.
Right. When you go to your heart.
Yeah.
What? Yep.
Because this is on last year's, that packet thing that we got to work through. I remember doing this, and the one that I got last year didn't even make the second to last.
Okay. So do you feel like, with that, Tiana, do you feel like this that you did today is more reflective of your true, who you are, purpose? Or not?
In a way, yeah. It makes a lot more sense than the other one, because I feel like the other one was what I was trying to have as mine, but it wasn't my true self one.
I think that's a very valid point. I think as women, we get caught in the comparison game all the time. And sometimes that's comparing with someone else. Sometimes it's comparing with ourselves in another season of our life. But I think sometimes We can do an exercise like this and we pick what we think the right answer is. And just like you said, these can mean different things to every people. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's what's right for you, what speaks to you. Yes.
I also think that your answers on these papers are going to be different if you are in different stages of life.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because my answers at my age are not going to be a lot of
Right. Absolutely. And I do.
Through
Right.
what you're still working through.
Yes.
I've already been and done that.
Yes.
So what is now my focus?
Changes
probably is
over
not
time.
yours.
Exactly. I totally agree. I agree with that. To piggyback off of that, how many of you were part of our area when we did, or maybe even if you weren't part of our area, but if you've ever done the Gallup Strength Finders? Have you ever done Strength Finders? How many of you have done that? Okay, have you ever done it more than once? Okay, because I did it like 5 years ago or 4 years ago when we debuted as an area, and then I did it again probably 2 years ago, and got, some of them were the same, but they were a different order, different place, and I think it's just like what you were saying, it's a different, I'm in a different season of my life. Not that those strengths that I had before aren't still something that I'm good at, but I'm not utilizing them in the same way. And things that I was not as strong in 5 years ago, I'm now stronger in because I'm using that more in the season that I'm in.
When you reevaluate
Yes,
what you want your strengths to be at this stage in your life, what your strengths are today, in 10 years,
right,
might not be.
exactly,
What you need.
exactly. And that's the beauty of the journey of life, is that if we allow ourselves to continue to grow and to change and to be open to that, we continue to become, we're human beings, not human, like we're becoming, we're always in that process of becoming and being, not, like the mirage, we're just here. So I would love for some of you, if you would like to share some of these. And I just want you to read what you narrowed down to. I had this to serve by fill in the blank. And then if you want to share why you feel like that does apply to you, why that speaks to your heart, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. You can just read the statement if you'd like to. Anyone start? Great. Okay.
Mine was between living vision and retail purpose. And I'm very much a visionary and not much stuff. But I chose it for living person.
And why that one? When it came down to it, why
There's a word purpose or
that word connects, resonates with you?
never go.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well,
I was down to saying, like, I really listened to me, two things in the same sentence, but I was down to inspiring hope and lighting the way. So it's fine.
What's that? Good.
Mine came down to vision and passion. And I had a hard time, but then the more I thought with my heart and passion just, I speak with passion. Well, I mean, I have vision, but I think passion is my purpose. Yeah, like people.
I'm nurturing belief and embracing faith. I get nurturing belief.
And why?
Just because I think I still have to grow and kind of find myself and just to believe in myself and believe in God.
Yeah.
Trust in God.
You've had you've done a lot of work in belief in the last year.
My two were between igniting joy and embracing grace. And my heart really said to go with embracing grace, which confused me at first because I like to make people happy. And then I thought about it for a second and I was like, oh my goodness, when you learn to embrace grace and come in all things with an attitude of grace and give yourself grace, that will give you long-lasting joy. So I was like, oh, my goals.
They tie together.
So yeah, they tie together in that way.
Very cool. Yes.
I think that I arrived at nurturing belief as my final one at this stage in my life. It appears to me that that's my purpose.
And do you have a specific way that you are living that out, or that you're wanting to live that out?
I'm everybody's sounding board, and I'm a pretty good listener. I don't tend to judge.
Yeah. So you're that voice that can speak belief into other people.
They can tell me whatever they want to tell me. I don't normally say, oh, come on. Yeah, a lot. I have a granddaughter that just turned 15. Redhead, horrible. And she comes to me a lot. That's her dad is terrific with her. To me, I'm glad he was on the side. But he appears to me to be trying to lead her, not push her into things. Tries to line right there, listens to her a lot. If not just like a bit better. They work well together. They do because they work together a lot. She helps on a farm, she helps him. So she's learning a lot of things that a lot of girls have just don't grow out.
Right.
Her dad is also disabled, so she tries to take a little bit of year. And mistake sometimes because of that.
Right.
And I think the relationship is something. Yeah. It's very good to say to the girls.
Yeah.
Just with these both of them. Each other.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's a great example. Bobby, what was yours?
I'm going to say that this was really hard for me all the way through. And I always had one hard time. Maybe I don't know why. But mine came down to learning bravery and being true. And I kind of want to be true. Because I think that it's kind of who I am, and it's coming from my heart. People and for the
Right. Because that authenticity
or
is
not.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, mine is cultivating growth, which I'm sure is not shocking to any of you that know me well. It also probably helps you to understand a little bit why things like this fuel me, why this excites me, why this stirs my passion, is because I love learning myself. I love growing myself, but I also love getting to see other people learn and grow and getting to see them have those light bulb moments and move forward into things. And so, Jody, I think it was you that was asking, are we answering these? Are we thinking about these for our business? Are we thinking about these for our life? And they're related because our business is part of our life. And the skills and the things that we love in our businesses generally tie to our purpose and to our strengths in some way. But when I think back, when I was going through this the first time and doing the purpose test, the reason that growth was the one that kept winning and it kept advancing forward was because when I think back over my life, everything that I've ever done that I've felt proud of or that I loved doing has somehow related to that idea of growth. So I loved school as a child. I loved teaching. That's why I went into teaching, was because I loved that growth process. And that's why I love what I do in Mary Kay with the mentoring and the coaching. So does that kind of help as an example, Jody, of how that can kind of tie? So just like you said with yours, it's a belief, not only your faith growing, but how you've seen that belief that you're able to put into your kids, into your grandkids, and all of those things that carries over to all areas of our life. So I feel like our purpose statement can kind of become like our filter through we see every area of our life, not just our business, not just our marriage, not just parenting, not just community member, daughter, sister, whatever, but we start to see how that impacts every part of our life. And as you transition now and start thinking about passion, I think you're going to be able to see ways that your natural passions and the things that you love kind of tie back to that purpose statement. So this next exercise is just some questions that are going to help you kind of dig down deep and maybe unearth some dreams that you maybe didn't know were there, or maybe you've kind of buried and forgotten that were there. And I encourage you with this part too, those of you who are in Mary Kay, I encourage you to think outside of Mary Kay on these dreams. So when you think, what if I could do something on my wish list? Something pops in your head that is totally ridiculous and like not at all business related, like put it down. Like take yourself out of this realm of like something on my wish list is to be a red jacket, or something on my wish list is to become a sniper. Because titles, that's not what it's about. It's about who you are and who God's wired you to be. So take a few minutes, and the bottom of this page, there's 3 questions on the front, and then the back side, I think there are 3 on the back as well. So go ahead and just take a few minutes and process through those questions about your passion. What if I could do something on my wish list, such as, what if I could learn something new? What if I could change something about my job or my life? What if I could repair a relationship? Which one do I wish was better? What if I could overcome an obstacle in my life? What if I could spend more time on the things that bring me joy and energy? You don't necessarily have to answer them all, but if there's some that kind of jump out at you and grab you, and there's some that comes to your mind right away, gravitate towards those. That's totally fine.
You still doing okay? Yeah, good. Finish this one, you still munching on it?
No.
Yeah. We'll do another one. We have a water pitcher.
Are we supposed to do the whole thing? Go on the possibilities or
No.
after that?
Just stop when you get done with the passions part. Don't go down to the possibilities one day. Spending some time. Like I said, if every question didn't stir something, that's okay. There's kind of a wide variety here to help you identify things in different directions. How many of you were maybe a little bit surprised by something that came out? Anybody have something that when you read the question and something came in your brain and you were like, what? I had a couple things it took a long thing and I was like, what in the world? I didn't even know I wanted to do that.
I've never even thought about this before the seminar and hang out. One of my key light bulbs is
Okay. Love it. Anybody else want to share something? I know these are really personal, so you don't have to, but if you want to share, you're welcome to something like that. Or one of mine, and this one was not a surprise, this is something that I knew, but one of mine is for learning something new is I want to learn how to breakaway rope. As you guys know that Patrick rodeos, he ropes, he's phenomenal at it. I'm kind of thinking that I'm probably going to have to wait until Lucy learns how and have her teach me, because I don't know that Patrick can be great at teaching me. He's wonderfully patient with other people. I'm not sure that he would be wonderfully patient with his wife. Because I tend to, you know how that goes. Like, I'm not as good of shoot help as everyone else. I tend to get, you know, hey, you're teaching me not. Nobody else gets that, so I'm not sure. But Lucy said, well, Mom, I'll teach you. It'll be okay. I'll teach you. So that's one of my something that someday on my bucket list is to learn how to do that. I know it in theory, you know. I know what good roping looks like, and I know, you know what I mean? I can identify when I watch, like, she swings well, she throws well, she has good delivery, all of that, but like as far as whether or not I could actually execute it, I have to And what? Did I get? Okay. Writing logs. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. No. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Anything else? Something you've always wanted to do, or?
Well, for learning something new, completely not expecting this one at all, but it makes a little sense now. I want to learn how to dance, like specific types of dances. It's something I always wanted to learn, like growing up and stuff. And at Joan, I took a couple of classes, and they were like seriously some of my favorite classes that were there. But apparently,
Very cool. Love it. Love it. What else want to share? How many of you, when you were writing down, or if you chose to answer this one about spending time on the things that bring you joy and energy, how many of you found that there were things that you really love that really do bring you joy and energy that maybe you don't do because whatever reason, you think there's other things that are more important, or Okay. Okay, so the boundary piece. Okay. So this was that spending more time on things that bring me joy and energy. I think I shared this maybe at January Jumpstart when I taught on emotional management. But one of the things that I love is I love not creating gift baskets. But I am a creative person, and I love creativity. I love scrapbooking, I love sewing, I love quilting, that type of stuff. But it's very much something that I feel I don't do it because it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of our home, the way that our home is set up right now. There's not a place that I have that's just like that there. So like when I'm doing that, it means that I'm like out in the kitchen and I'm doing it at my kitchen table, and then you have to pick it up because there's little people running crazy everywhere and you can't pick it out. And so it's just not super practical. And that's what I told myself. It's like, it's not super practical this season. It's not something that I need to do. I allow myself 3 days of sewing time to make my seminar dress if I'm going across stage and those types of things. Or, 3 days before Christmas as I'm frantically finishing up Christmas gifts for people. But then it really does, kind of takes the joy away from it because it becomes a stressful thing with the time crunch. And so one of the things that I decided to do this year in terms of an emotional management piece and getting back to something like that brought me joy was to give myself a half day or a day each month where I didn't feel guilty for having the kids go to grandma's or having the babysitter come so that I could do that. Because I always feel like if my kids are away that I should be working because I should be working. I don't have my kids, I should work. But there's also that piece of us that we need to fuel ourselves and we need to take care of us and do what brings us joy. So that's just one kind of a silly example, but something that for me and my joy level and my energy level, another thing that I love to do is read. And I like to read all things. I love personal growth. I love self-development. I love fiction. I love like crappy kids books, like literature that it's like junior high drama. I mean, like it's like when I went on the Degrassi junior high Netflix binge. I mean, once in a while, I just need my little middle school fix. Like, I know, it's so weird. I don't even watch TV, and I got obsessed with it because I found Degrassi Junior High on Netflix, and I remembered watching it like in junior Netflix. And I for 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. I was up until like midnight watching this episode when my kids went to bed. And then there was Degrassi High after. Oh my gosh, it was the whole process. So one of the things again with that is like giving myself permission to read a fun book once in a while. Not feeling like I always have to be reading something that I can teach from or that I can learn from, but sometimes it's okay to watch Degrassi Junior High. Sometimes it's okay to read that crappy adolescent lit novel that takes me 30 minutes to read because it's very shallow. So, moving from the passions then, one more question I have for you, this is not on here. Thing, as you look at the stuff that came out that is your passion, can you see how some of that piggybacks off of your purpose statement or ties back to that purpose statement? Can you? Some of them? Maybe not every single one of them, but some of them. Like mine, I had a lot of travel things down, and I thought, well, that totally ties back to cultivating growth, because I love learning. I love going new places and meeting new people and seeing new things, and, you know, all of that ties together. Okay. The possibilities then, we're going to transition. And so the possibilities piece, I'm going to, again, keep most of this just in your life. We will transition it to your business at the very end. We'll talk a little bit about this, but for right now, still keep it in the realm of your whole life, not just your business. And choose one of those things from your passion piece that you want to work on right now, and jot that one down. So mine was not, when I wrote down one that I was going to work on, it was not breakaway roping right now because I'm pregnant and I'm not going to learn how to rope while I'm pregnant. So my husband's like, well, Jan Brown, who's from North Platte and just won the Nebraska State Rodeo final, he's like, Jan Brown was roping the day before she delivered her baby. And I'm like, Jan Brown rides the horse and ropes every day. I do not. A whole different story. Jan Brown. She is tough. She's a handy lady. Lucy always called her Clancy Brown's mom because they have their girl, their daughter's 10, and her name is Clancy. And our little boy's name is Clancy, so we have Clancy Brown, and then our Clancy. And so the kids really think Clancy Brown is like a cool girl because she always comes to talk to them and has amazing Clancy. So every time Jan wrote, Clancy goes, is that Clancy Brown's mom? Okay, you're jotting down one thing that you want to work on right now from your passion section. And then the next little blank, write down one thing that you're going to do in the next week to start working towards that. So I'm going to use Rebecca's as an example that you shared about taking your dad on a Alaska cruise. I don't know if that's what you wrote down or not, but if it was, maybe one thing that she's going to do in the next week to start reaching that goal is to research, like how much does that cost? What's the price tag on that trip? What's the length of time? What's, you know, because if there's something that you want, whether it's a travel goal or something, there's probably a price tag attached to it. You probably kind of need to know the price tag before you're able to really move forward with stuff. So that might be a great first step for some of you, or it might be something else. That next question then is, what resources do you need for that? And just jot some of those down. So again, if we're using the example of the Alaskan cruise, maybe you're going to Google some things. Maybe you're going to call a travel agency. If I was using my breakaway and roping example, maybe I would look for clinics that were being held in the area. I would call Jan Brown. If your goal that you wrote down is something more related to your business, then your resources might be more of those hard skill things of your business. It might be the booking piece or the coaching piece or the selling piece. And so maybe you need to find resources on that. Maybe you need to on the 21-day challenge. Maybe you need to brush up on your closing. And then the last question there, who can help you in that process? Is it somebody you already know? Somebody already in your life? Or is it someone you need to seek out? Maybe you have a deep-seated desire to learn how to skydive or something like that. In that case, you would probably need to seek out someone who knew how to skydive, and it's probably not any of us in this room unless we have a hidden talent that I don't know about. But are you a skydiver? Yeah, not yet. Is that your is that what you're passion? The what? Yeah, I think, is he still here in Kearney? I think there's one in Minden too that does. Okay, so you answered that one. And then the last question, this one is obviously for those of you who are part of Mary Kay. And this is where I want to kind of tie a bow on everything and bring this to a close, is how can Mary Kay, in your Mary Kay business, how can that be a part of helping you link that purpose, those passions, and then the possibilities for your life? Because we know that there's a lot of opportunity within Mary Kay, with the career path. We all know that. We all see the women that are doing the top directorships. We see the women who are making the 6 and 7 figure incomes in a year. We see all of that. We know that it's available. We know that it's there. That link to your passion, because maybe your passion isn't earning a diamond ring. But how could your Mary Kay business link back to those things that are your passions, that do fill your heart and make your heart beat fast? Does that make sense? So when I think about this question, and I think about the things that I want to accomplish in Mary Kay, and it all comes back to that cultivating growth and my passion for learning and for teaching and for speaking and for impacting. My movement forward on the career path gives me that larger platform to be able to do that on a bigger level. So that's one way that it links. Another way that things link is when I look at the passion piece and I look at the traveling and the home and the place that we want to have and the arena that Patrick wants to have and the things that he wants to do with his training, that'll have a price tag. And so again, Mary Kay ties in there because this opportunity and movement forward on the career path fuels that. So one example of how we were doing, how we were doing that is when we finish our Cadillac this month, when our unit wraps that up, the extra income that will generate on my director paycheck beyond what normally is generated will be enough that with what we have in savings right now from several horses that Patrick sold over the summer, we'll be able to pay off our home. And so our home will be completely paid for, our land will be completely paid for. And that's exciting. Like that fuels both passions and moving all of that story forward. Does that make sense? So if the Cadillac isn't enough, I mean, not that I'm not excited about the Cadillac, because I am, but that piece just adds an extra and it ties it into not only my passion, but to my husband's passion and to my kids and to the legacy that we're creating, all of that. Does that make sense? So as you think about your life, your passion, how does Mary Kay tie in for you? Anybody want to share?
Sometimes I look at the fact that my bigger dream, what I want to do for children, that by having the money and time, with my husband, to be able to meet those people in the community, where I do what I need to do, to go talk about, and have my children, and so it's again, it's a wonderful foundation. It supports a lot of that. And so,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
People can say that,
Right.
know how to go to
Right.
how to run that.
Exactly. That's a great example of how it ties to something so much bigger. It's so much bigger than a suit or a title. I mean, that has nothing to do with it. It's more the opportunity that creates the connection. Absolutely perfect example. Yes, being that example.
And every day at work, I'm just talking about stay on the side. But it's like right now in your life, and the rest of it, just knowing that you have to and have the opportunity up there. Yeah, so that's really it's pretty amazing. I don't think you make a lot of money doing that, but the feeling that comes right back is amazing.
Right, the heart paycheck. Yeah, absolutely. And that all ties into that being true for you, because that is your heart's passion with kids. And so being able to use your business in a way that blesses them and that serves them, fuels that passion and fills your bucket up. Yeah. Love that. Great example. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
We connected at 2 different times and had meetings of mine. I also want to be a part of my business when it gets bigger. My husband and I already talked about that, but every month that makes me look at me. I love to help kids and I love the bigger picture piece, but going into a picture and being that kind of able to change to a bigger level and moving into that work. We have small groups every day, but I do that on a larger scale.
That's why I some groups and keep pushing smaller.
Like the starfish story. You heard the starfish story? When the little boy is walking on the beach and all the starfish have washed up on the beach, and there's thousands of starfish, and he's going along, and he'll pick them up, toss them back out in the ocean, because if they stay on the beach, they'll die. And he's going along, picking them up, and the man comes along and says, "What are you doing? There's thousands of starfish. There's no way you can really make a difference, because you're not going to be able to put them all back into the ocean. You can't do it." And the little boy just picks up the starfish and throws them into the water. Difference for this one. I made a difference for this one. And if it's not for all of them, difference here, in my corner, with what I can do in my world. In this season, in this time, with what God's given me in terms of energy and impact and all of that.
If you don't ever leave it, small, you won't get.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I completely agree with that. Anybody else want to share? Some of you are still processing, and I understand. We've covered a lot tonight. Dug down deep. You probably got some things going in your brain, I hope, that you didn't have before. And that was what I wanted. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is one of my favorite verses in the Bible, from Jeremiah 29:11. This is actually, we have a tin sign in the kids' bedroom that has this verse on it that hangs right above the crib. And when we found out we were pregnant with Lucy, and some of you don't know this, some of you do, but we had tried for a very long time to get pregnant. And so it was very exciting when that happened, and it was very emotional in a lot of ways. And we wanted that baby was covered in prayer from day one. I mean, I literally remember, you also know this, that I was sick like the entire 9 months with Lucy. She's been a challenging child from the beginning. But I would literally be over the toilet throwing up and feeling totally miserable, but saying, "Lord, I'm so grateful for this baby." I mean, really, my heart was so grateful. And so I had seen this sign, and we built the whole nursery colors around it, which we did neutral colors because we didn't know if it was a boy or girl. But it's brown. It's like a tin sign. It's kind of tan, and it has brown around. The words are in black and red, and it hangs with a red ribbon. on the wall, and it's this verse. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare, for good, and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And that's Jeremiah 29:11. So what I hope you leave with tonight is knowing that God has a plan for you and for your life, no matter how old or young you are, no matter how married or single you are, no matter how many kids you have or don't have, no matter if you are a jacket or a senior consultant or a sales director or whatever, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in your life, that God has a plan and a purpose for you. He's wired you to fulfill that purpose and to be able to walk that out for His honor and His glory. And that is what we all have to remember. On the days that it's tough, the days that it's great, we have to remember that there is a plan and there is a purpose, and our job is to step out in obedience to that and to do our part, which is to be obedient. So with that, I'm going to end this broadcast here.